Welcome back to PopulistPodcast. I'm your host, Chase Bailey, and today I'm going to be diving into the question, does the federal debt really matter? This has been a hot topic of debate as of late, with a ballooning federal debt that's sure to be only further inflated with trillions in stimulus spending in response to the ongoing pandemic. Currently, the debt is at nearly $24 trillion and is expected to rise by another $10 trillion by 2024. So, enough with the scary numbers. What does the debt actually mean? Basically, the federal government owes its creditors the entire annual gross domestic production of the whole country, or roughly $70,000 per person. This seemingly enormous debt has been a subject of bipartisan domestic controversy for decades now, with the more fiscally conservative individuals demagoguing the issue. This has led to various measures such as the pay-as-you-go or pay-go system in the House of Representatives. The common fears that have been espoused by advocates of a balanced budget include the government defaulting on their loans, having less disaster relief capabilities, and not possessing the proper resources to fund a social safety net. The idea that the national debt must be paid off in its entirety is actually a rather absurd idea. Ever since Alexander Hamilton's policy of assumption, the nation has seen the benefits of a national debt. It serves to unify the country, facilitate trade, fight recessions, etc. So, all things considered, should we care about the national debt accumulation? Well, largely no. However, it can't be completely disregarded. Allow me to elaborate. Firstly, given the incredibly low interest rates, it almost makes sense to invest in our future now. Lead economists Jason Furman and Lawrence H. Summers wrote that low rates mean, quote, policymakers should reconsider the traditional fiscal approach that has often wrong-headedly limited worthwhile investments, end quote. As long as these rates stay similar to current levels, this debt is far more palatable. Secondly is the concept of monetary sovereignty. This one is a subject of controversy in the economic world, but essentially, the idea is that a country with an established fiat currency, that is, money lacking intrinsic value, has complete control over the fluctuation of their money by virtue of monopolization. This sounds more complicated than it really is. Basically, the idea is that as long as a country issues its debt in its own currency, it can never default. This idea, which began with Knapp, a German economist who coined the term chartalism, was later expanded upon into a concept known as modern monetary theory. Proponents of modern monetary theory advocate the use of endogenous money to fund government works and reach full employment. Their response to concerns regarding runaway inflation as a result of the arbitrary infusion of money is that this crisis could be assuaged through taxation and the issuance of government bonds in order to reduce the velocity of money within the economy. This theory, however, is contrasted by historic examples of inflation as a result of printing money to fund debt, such as the Weimar Republic. Finally, it's important to look at the circumstances in which the deficit spending is taking place. For example, whatever the possible downsides that fiscal conservatives claim could come as a result of the budget deficit, they're massively outweighed by the cataclysmic effects of crises such as climate change and other ongoing events necessitating stimulus packages. If we were to allow the economy to trend downwards and try to cut the deficit rather than use that deficit to stimulate the economy, we would likely see something similar to the Eurozone debt crisis at the beginning of the 2010s. Ultimately, while the debt shouldn't be taken lightly, much less blatantly ignored, it should not supersede the needs of the people. The deficit should serve as a tool to stimulate and grow the economy. Fretting over lowering the debt or balancing the budget will ultimately do more harm than good. With time, given the technological advancements, increases in productivity, and the millions of new jobs that will come with stimulus packages such as the Green New Deal, the debt will fix itself. It's time to stop fear-mongering over the debt and start providing for all people. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, please like and share it with a friend. It helps us out massively. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.